We are Iowa Veteran Education Transition and Support. We are here to support all of our veteran and military connected students. By military connected, we usually talk about current members of the National Guard or Reserve components, family members, ROTC cadets, and just a lot of supporters of the military. So we're here to support all those populations, and we have a open community where we take care of each other, and we want to welcome everyone to that community. And this is the first chance you get to see us. Welcome, and we'll get started and join in the Iowa veteran community. So usually we do these in person, and we do about 26 over the course of the summer. This year with the pandemic, we are now doing this all on Zoom. So we are down to 3 sessions. All on Zoom, and so it's a challenge for us. But usually during every session, I always ask where everyone's coming from, just so I have some idea of that. If you just want to go ahead and just in the chat box, just type in where you're coming from today, so I kind of have a general idea of where all of our participants are coming from. That kind of helps me shape some of the conversation we'll have today. If someone's from the local area, there's sometimes not as much detail. We need to go in on some of those things. So as that goes. So if you just want to do that when you get a chance, jump in there in the chat and just type in where you're from. That would be great. So you can just do that at any time. We'll just kind of keep going with this presentation in the meantime. So like I said, my name is Matthew Miller. I'm the program director for IVETS. I take care of students on the resources side of the house. We have folks also that take care of students on the benefits side of the house. On the resource side of the house, we also have Chelsea Burke, who is our program coordinator. And on the benefits side, I'll let Tammy introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Tammy Bruns. Excuse me. I have been at the University of Iowa for 16 years now, and spent the last 4.5 years as a school certifying official in the IVETS office here at Iowa. So you'll come to me for any questions on GI Bill benefits, NEGAP benefits, Fed TA benefits, any billing questions, if there's a discrepancy between your U-bill and your GI Bill benefits. So we're always here to help and available via email. We have personal phone numbers, and then also office hours when we go back into the office. So thanks for being here.
So also, the University of Iowa, we have about 2,600 veteran and military connected students. And we also have a large student organization on campus that represents all those populations, the University of Iowa Veterans Association. We also have online today Jessica, who is the president of the UIVA, and we'll let her introduce herself as well.
Hi, I'm Jessica. I'm the president of the University of Iowa Veterans Association. June actually marks my first year being in Iowa. I came from Florida, Eglin Air Force Base. I only got out of the military May of 2019, so only been out for a year. I have Zoom meetings on Mondays where I get to see a lot of people. So we do a lot of talking and stuff and just kind of hanging out. It's a great environment. And I'm really excited to be here today to be able to talk to you about the cool things that we offer.
Thank you. So yeah, we are here at IVETS to take care of you all the way around, whether it's benefits, resources, lounge space, building community, connecting with the University of Iowa Veterans Association, connecting with other campus partners. Our job here is to make sure your transition and your stay here at the University of Iowa is successful as possible. We have several opportunities to join us for events. We also do 2 classes, which we'll talk about later. And we're just here to make sure that everything goes well, that you're getting everything you need resource-wise and benefits-wise. So we're just going to kind of go through some of this today. So how I'm going to do this is I'm actually going to go a lot of it through our webpage. We have a new webpage called named veterans.uiowa.edu. It's consolidated of all the veteran and military resources on campus. So I'm just going to stop sharing this screen, and I'm going to share that one real quick. So bear with me just one second. Wrong screen, sorry. I'll figure this out yet. First of all, this is our UIVA or the IVET's Facebook page. So we just kind of do some social media presence. We'll give you the rest of our social media addresses towards the end of the presentation today. But our website, veterans.uiowa.edu, it's a brand new website. We rolled it out last fall. It's a great site, updated every day with information and lots of options and lots of resources available for students, veteran or military connected. So we'll just kind of go through some of this today. Kind of focusing right now on our current pages, current students page. So we have a lot of student resources that are available to veteran and military affiliated or military connected students on the research resources here. We go through a lot of different things. One of the big things we have when we're back on campus is we have a lounge space and computer lab that's open for all veteran and military affiliated students from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday. It's open till 6 o'clock on Friday, and we have opened it on the weekends for if students needed that for during midterms or during finals. In that computer lab, we have about 18 computers. They're all networked to the Iowa system, and we also have free printing in there, so you can print as much as you want, black and white. So that's kind of a big draw. If you do go anywhere else on campus, they're going to charge you per page to print that off. It just adds to your U-bill. If you need to print something in, you come into the IVES Computer Lounge. That printing will be for free. So kind of a nice little added benefit there. Also in that lounge space, we usually have coffee, snacks, a refrigerator, a big water cooler, TV with Netflix, and we sometimes have bring some gaming devices in and lots of different options on that. So if you have a chance to, kill some time during the day and need somewhere to go, the lounge space is usually a pretty fun place to be. We have some amazing conversations, some of which I would have never fathomed I would have been a part of, like which animal would you rather be and which animal would you rather fight? So those are some of the weird ones we had last spring. Students really got into those, but we had a lot of fun with that. And also one of the big draws we have in that lounge space is free coffee. So we all like to make sure we have our daily dose of caffeine. So we have caffeine and coffee available for free in the space as well. So that is, like I said, available Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Friday till 6 p.m. So a great resource. Come in, check it out sometime. We are currently, our location is in the old Capitol Mall, but that we are still there's a possibility of changing. So we'll let everyone know if we do change our location. But you'll just see some pictures of the spaces here, what's been going on, what you can do in our computer lab space and lounge space. So great place to hang out. Usually really popular during the middle of the day, during the lunch hour. We have a lot of students in there enjoying their lunch or just hanging out. So that's all available there. We talked about resources. One of the other resources that we're able to provide is some networking or some connections to tutoring. We have a couple different specific internal programs that are veteran and military affiliated or military connected specific. So I'll kind of go through some of those here on the tutoring page. The chemistry platoon is one of the biggest ones. It started about 4 years ago by a University of Iowa chemistry professor, Dr. Scott Daly, who is an Army vet himself. Came to the University of Iowa as a professor. Now he's a full tenured professor, and he spent some time in like I said, in the Army, came out, went back to school, did a lot of same thing that a lot of us did, got out of the military, came back to school, and now he wants to give back. He saw that in his principles of chemistry courses, Gen Chem 1, that a lot of veterans were struggling in those courses. So he put this Chem Platoon together. It's a kind of an ongoing, meets twice a week tutoring session, group sessions. He kind of starts out the semester leading it, but we have students that have been involved with Chem Platoon for a while that kind of take over. And a lot of those students have had a variety of different chemistry classes. And so they can help you through that. And Dr. Daly gets also students ready for the first test. He's got study guides, problem questions, and things that you might want to work through before you take a test. So if you have to take Gen Chem 1 or Principles of Chemistry, it's a great opportunity to kind of get some extra help, and it's specific for our our veteran and military connected students. We'll be posting the times and places for all of our tutoring sessions here as we get a little closer to the fall and some details get a little more solidified. So that is actually, Chemistry Platoon is a National Science Foundation award-winning program. So we're very proud of that. There's a little video if you ever want to check it out on our website right here that the National Science Federation put together about Chemistry Platoon. Also, last year we started a new program. We saw that students, some of the courses students are struggling with were chemistry and math. We saw a lot of students having some issues from everywhere from basic algebra up to calculus and beyond, stats. So we started Math Platoon last year. We actually have a University of Iowa math professor that leads that. Her husband is a former Marine, and she wanted to help give back to the program, to give back to the veteran and military community. She does this of her own free will. She volunteers her time to do this, and we have a lot of students that are also involved in that. So that's something we started last spring, and we've seen some pretty good success before we had to shift classes to all online. But that will be going this fall, and we'll post the times and dates for that. It's a great opportunity to be involved. Learn more. You're going to take some type of math class, and if you have any issues, this is a great opportunity to get some help with that. Also, last year we started a tutoring program, or a writing center tutoring program through the University of Iowa Writing Center. We have a representative from there that comes and takes up space in our computer lab and is available for students for walk-ins and appointments to work on a variety of different things writing. And so that's one of the programs we're really starting to grow. But if you need some help writing a paper, anything like that, research that, a writing center tutor will be happy to help you out with that in that process. So couple new opportunities. We're always looking for ways to help our students succeed here at the University of Iowa. And these are 3 of the tutoring programs that are available, in addition to what the university offers through the Academic Resource Center on campus. So you'll be hearing more about that, I'm sure, as you get closer to starting the semester here at Iowa. And we also have a program called Veteran Peer Advisors. It's a program that started on campus about 6 years ago. It started with a national program. We've kind of actually made our own program since then. So Veteran Peer Advisors is just another way for veteran and military connected students to have another ally on campus. So we match you up with a veteran or military connected student who's been on campus here a little longer. We try to match you up by majors or branch. And those relationships have been anything from just sending a quick email, checking in, to having coffee and hanging out. But it's another resource, another ally for you on campus. So we also have Jessica, who participates in the V program, as we call it. So Jessica, do you want to tell us a little bit about your experience with that?
Yeah, so I have actually been on both sides of the peer advising. So when I first got here in May, I was part of it. Like, I had my own peer advisor that I could talk to and reach out to. And honestly, I wish I would have utilized him a little bit more. But the good thing about it was, while he didn't really understand my major or the things I was going through, he was able to connect me with a different peer advisor who did. So he was able to talk to me and, help me when I was trying to figure out what I need to do for grad school and things like that. So that was really helpful. They're having a peer advisor is super helpful because they can connect you with all resources or other people who might understand something a little bit better than them. And then for this last spring semester, I was a peer advisor. And honestly, I had a few people that actually reached back to me after sending emails and stuff. And I just like being able to help them because I did the same thing. Like, if I didn't know an answer, I would connect them to Matt or Chelsea, or to maybe because at that time I wasn't the president. So I would connect them to Paul, who was the old UIVA president, if it was something he could help with. But it was also really nice because I was able to help quite a few people get involved with different events and stuff that we do to help them with that social aspect. So I think participating in VPA on both sides has been really beneficial to my time at Iowa. So I love the program. I think it's great. I really enjoyed it.
Thanks, Jessica. So, like I said, this is a program that is there to provide you another ally to ask questions. Where to find the best coffee after 10 o'clock, or best place to have a burrito. It's usually popular questions we have. They're also really good at finding places to study or resources. So, if you're looking for something and you can't really find it, your peer advisor may actually have a good lead on that. And if they don't, they'll actually reach out to one of us, and we'll more than likely be able to find that resource for you in a relatively short amount of time. So it's a program that's available to all military connected and veteran students here at the University of Iowa. We also offer 2 classes that are available to our veteran students. They're both relatively new, and so we'll talk a little bit about that. I don't actually have the slide for that. So we have the first class is Strategies for Veteran Success. It's a new class we started last fall, and Jessica was one of our first class members, participants as well. So basically what we do is
living in Illinois, I did not know anybody here. Like, I knew 0 people in Iowa City. So I took the course and I was like, if anything, maybe it'll be like an easy A, and which if you complete the work, it is an easy A. No offense, Matt. But the biggest thing for me, the biggest thing that was my saving grace in this course was the amount of people that I got to meet and make those connections with, because I had nobody, and now I have like a whole gaggle of people I can call at any time for any reason. We all still talk and all still hang out from the people I met in that course. And it's also been helpful for me becoming the UIVA president, because if I need anything or I need opinions or I need help at an event, I have this whole group of people I can reach out to. It just became our own little family in that course. I looked forward to it all week. I still remember it was on Wednesdays. And I would look forward the whole week to go to class on Wednesday, to see these people and to have those conversations and to finally be myself, because that was my biggest thing. I could not be myself anywhere else. I felt like I did not fit in. Like, I'm 23, I'm a single parent. Like, I did not fit in with the 18, 19-year-olds in my other intro courses, but in that course I fit in. And I loved it. And I'm so thankful that that course was there for me to meet these people and to, it really helped my transition back to civilian life. So I really enjoyed it. I really and highly suggest it to everybody.
So like Jessica said, was not the most difficult course. It is a letter grade course, so there's 2 credit hours. We highly encourage any veteran or military connected students. We have a good mix of students in there that are some just coming off of active duty, some that have been off of active duty for a couple years, as well as members of the National Guard and Reserve components. So we've actually even had a dependent in there of a veteran. So great opportunity to kind of build some community, maybe help your GPA a little bit, and get connected. So another course we are offering is we're still kind of in the middle of developing it. It's another success course. We'll be getting some more out to students about those opportunities soon. So we'll get that out. But if you do want to register for the strategies course, you can just go online and search in the course catalog for strategies for veteran success, or you type in veteran, it's probably going to pull up really easily there. So highly encourage you to just jump on there and get enrolled. It's going to be Wednesday, I believe, at 1:30. So we're pretty happy about that. It's a good time in the day to get that course done. So on the bottom of the resource page here, just some other campus connections you can have. So if you need help with anything, a lot of resources are listed here below. Highly encourage you to just get involved, check it out. If you can't find it anywhere else on campus, come to our webpage, check it out. We probably have a link to it or a resource connection there. So like I said before, we have 2 kind of areas of our office. One is support resources and support, and the other one is benefits and support. So Tammy's here going to talk about what they do on the benefits side to make sure that students are connecting with all their resources. So Tammy, go ahead.
Sure. Hi again. So the GI Bill Services Office, like I kind of mentioned in my intro, we're all about helping you get the most money that you deserve to go to school. So whatever that may take, it may be a few different avenues of GI Bill benefits and state and Fed TA. Every situation is just a little bit different, and we pride ourselves in meeting with you and really getting you a tailored plan as to making the most of your GI Bill benefits, and then to marry that with any other scholarships or anything else you may have. So that being said, we do partner a lot with the Office of Student Financial Aid, just because some of your benefits that you'll be getting do make a difference to your scholarships. So we work closely with them so we can facilitate that meeting too. It does get a little complicated, but we do the best we can to kind of show you your options. And we obviously are on your team and want you to get the best possible plan that we can get for you. We also do or look over documents to see if you qualify for tuition. Right now, we offer all veterans immediate in-state tuition with proper documentation. So we will look over that, and then we're the ones to switch that in the system. So obviously that's a huge deal as far as money wise. So we definitely want to make sure if you do qualify for that, that we get you that, because that's about half the price each semester. And then that too can sometimes affect, if you will, your Office of Student Financial Aid scholarships and such. If you went from an out-of-state tuition student to an in-state tuition student. So again, there's implications for everything kind of that happens, but we just try to make it the easiest for you. You know, a lot of parents get involved too because it's financial. So, you know, we're happy to explain the situation to you and anyone else that you approve to be part of your educational uh, dialogue. So I think if we go a little bit down, Matt, sorry.
Oh yeah, I'll scroll you down here.
Take me down.
There you go.
Okay, so thank you. So this first box here on your left side is a description of what DOE for short. And because we love acronyms, not really, but we have a lot of them, so we have to use them. So basically, the COE is a document that the VA sends directly to you via mail in your mailbox, that outlines your benefits, what you have qualified for, how many months of entitlements that you've been awarded, and also the percentage of coverage. So this is a huge deal, obviously to you and to us, because we need to record that information and have it in our system to know that if the VA's payments are ever late, which sometimes they are, at least we have your COE to look back on, and the billing folks can see that you're covered at 100%, and your payment from the VA will be coming. Therefore, your late fees will be waived, which is a good thing. So I think the key about that is just communication, but the COE is a huge document that they really rely on, and other departments do too. So if you don't know where it is, or you've been in another institution and you're transferring in, we can help you, you know, access that, or at least the details of what your benefits entail. So this is right now on your screen, just a little rundown of the step-by-step guide that Matt went to. Sorry. He's driving and I'm being a backseat driver. So there's a link right there under how do I prepare before starting my application for your VA benefits. It's a really great tutorial on the VA's website. Will ask you, you know, in what capacity did you serve? Maybe you're getting benefits from a veteran parent, that can be included in this too. That would be chapter 35 or Chapter 33, and a few others as well. So they really pick apart and determine what benefit you would qualify for. So that would be your kind of first step if you're just not sure what you may even qualify for. So there's no cost to fill out the application. So even if you don't know, there's no harm in filling it out. So I always say to fill it out if you're not sure. So we can go back now. Thanks, Matt. And the online veterans worksheet is on our main page here. And this is an in-house form that we have at Iowa. It's not related to the VA. However, it contains information that we need to send your benefits to the VA. So the VA requires that we have your permission to send your benefits in for the set semesters you'd like to be covered. And to kind of seal that, we need that in an online form or in writing. Now, since we used to do it in writing, and we now have a website dedicated to that. So it's an online form. It's an annual form, so it's good for 1 year. So for example, the live form right now is for this current semester, summer, and then fall 2020, and then spring 2021. And then it always starts over each summer. So for example, if you were covered in spring 2021 and you also want to take summer courses, then you would need to fill out a different worksheet. You can always reach out and ask us kind of what your status is. Do I need to fill out another worksheet? But really, this is a key communication piece between you and our office as to how often you'd like to be covered. So really important. It's good kind of to keep a radar up too. If you notice you haven't been certified yet for a semester, you'll receive an automatic email from the VA when we do certify you. Feel free to reach out. Usually it's something as simple as filling out the worksheet. So when in doubt, ask, and we're happy to look at that information for you and make sure you get covered for the semesters that you'd like. Can we click on the worksheet, Matt? Oh, you have to put your stuff in to get in, right?
Yes.
Is that possible?
Yeah, I gotta validate I gotta wait for the dual
Oh,
login here.
it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's a really simple form. It does ask you what benefit you're receiving. So if you're not sure, don't fill it out and contact us. We'd rather have a viable worksheet than one that isn't correct, just because it is kind of complicated, at least the first time. So pretty much everything on here is, it won't let you submit it until it's filled out. Required is the word I'm looking for. So if you're going through this and you're not quite sure of something, let us know. It's a submission online, so we'll get it online. Yeah, it's pretty simple. This is imperative if for some reason you switch benefits for the VA. Let's say you go from Chapter 35 to Chapter 33, unless you reach out to us or complete this worksheet, we don't know that. Or for example, if you fill it out in advance but don't register for classes for another 3 weeks, you'll still need to just let us know. It could be just a quick email. Hey, Tammy, I ended up registering for courses today. Thanks. So I already have your worksheet. I just have to go do the work and send that to the VA. So communication is definitely key. And this worksheet is a huge help. I know everyone has a lot going on, so sometimes it's easy to forget to fill out one every year, but we do the best we can at trying to contact you in advance too if you want to be covered. But when in doubt, ask, I guess is my message. Okay, that should be good. Thanks, Matt.
So we're just kind of going off of kind of what some Tammy said there too. So we just want to make sure that you're getting the most benefits you are entitled to. So if you have not completed your free application for federal student financial aid, there's a link to it here on our page. If you go to the prospective students, there's also a place, if you haven't done it, to submit your military transcripts for evaluation for college credit. So we highly encourage all of our veteran and military connected students to go ahead and do both of those. If you fill out the FAFSA, even though you're getting a GI Bill, you still may be eligible for benefits that are in addition to whatever you're receiving for your GI Bill benefits. So highly encourage you to do that too. So it's all linked there on the prospective students page. We also want to talk to you a little bit about students that are veteran students and military connected students, or military connected students that are eligible for vocational rehabilitation and education program. So it's a program that's very similar to the GI Bill. It's run through the VA, and there's counselors, the vocational rehabilitation and education counselors throughout the state. What you do is, if you have a disability, a service-connected disability, you can go online and apply for the program. Usually the minimum is 20% service-connected, but they will waive it down for lower percentage of service-connected disabilities for eligibility, possibly for vocational rehabilitation and education program. So it's like I said, very similar to the GI Bill. It pays all your tuition, all your fees, except now it adds all your books. If you have to travel, to cover travel expenses, tutoring expenses, a lot of covered. It's kind of like the GI Bill on steroids is what we like to call it. And so there's a big push through the VA to get students, veterans that may be eligible for that program enrolled. If you want to start that process, you can very easily just go to, if you Google search vocational rehabilitation education VA, there's an application online. There's also, you can go to your county veteran service officer and they can help you fill out those forms as well. If that doesn't work, come see us. We'll be happy to help you either in the benefits or the resources side. We have exposure to both of that. I myself am a product of the vocational rehabilitation education program. I went back to school after getting off out of military after 21 years and got my master's degree actually paid for through that program, and it landed me where I'm at in my job today. So it's a great program. Jessica's on it as well. We have a lot of students that are in that program, and it's Jessica, why don't you quickly tell your experience with voc rehab?
So I actually had applied when I first arrived at Iowa. I had a little trouble getting my application through because I applied at the same time. I guess a lot of people applied, but as soon as I got on it, it was super easy. I went and did like one quick meeting with my counselor, and he was like, "You're good to go. Like, we approved you. Next semester you'll be on it." They've helped me so much because I came in with no computer. I came in with knowing that I had to get a PhD to complete my schooling, knowing that I was probably gonna have to pay out of pocket for part of my school. They've been really helpful in getting me everything I need. They got me a computer, printer, everything I needed for school. They have also told me that there's a chance that they could submit a waiver to help me complete my school without having to pay out of pocket. So that's pretty nice if that ends up working the way it hopefully will. Overall, the program itself is just awesome. It's having an extra support person for your school. I can contact my counselor at any time if I'm having issues with something, with getting, my financial stuff to go through, or if I need something and I'm not sure if they'll cover it, I just contact him and he'll be like, yes or no. So it's just nice to have that other person to go to and talk to whenever I need something. And I really like the fact that after I'm done with school, they help to place you in a job if you need it, which is super nice because it's really, really hard to do that nowadays, trying to find a job. So yeah, overall, I think it's worth it. Even if you apply and you're not able to do it, at least you tried. It's more months of benefit. It's more benefit overall. Like Matt was saying, it's GI Bill on steroids. So even if you just apply, it's always worth it to try.
Yeah, thanks, Jess. So the goal of how it's different from the GI Bill. The goal of the GI Bill is to pay for your education. The goal of vocational rehab is to get you a job. So whatever that route is, that's what the vocational rehabilitation education program will pay for and get you to. So great program. If you need more information, please reach out. We'd be happy to answer any questions. There's the chat window. You can submit it in there if you want to do that now. There's also a Q&A. If you want to submit a question, we can get it answered. Or you can, at the end of this presentation, we'll have some contact links to get a hold of us directly. And we'd be happy to answer any of those questions and cover anything we talked about today. We just also want to talk about some resources that are available for our veteran military affiliated students if they have VA medical appointments, or if they are members of the National Guard or Reserve component get mobilized. So if on the front page, there's a COVID-19 updates, and let's see, I just missed the wrong page here. Just give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. Finally on the right page. So right off that front landing page, there's a military service policy. So this kind of goes over if you, for any reason, you need to miss an extended amount of class for military service or VA medical appointments. The university has a policy, says those are excused absences. It does require you to work with your professors and probably let your academic advisor know, and we'd be happy to help with any of that process as well. It's got a little form you fill out online if you're going to be missing. So it just goes through it. If you're going to be missing, getting active duty deployed, whole links to fill out forms that need to do that. Information about that, how the policy works. You can be missing more than a few days if you're in the Guard and Reserve for a drill or extended training. There's links in there and information on how to do that, as well as links to the policy in general. So if any reason you need to utilize that, it's all there on the page, and we're also there very ready to help you work out with that. This is a new policy. We just got in place in the last few months. It's a better protection. It shows that the University of Iowa is committed to our veteran and military community, and this is one of the ways we've done that with this program. So a lot there to go through, and if you have any questions, like I said, just please ask us at any time. So I'm also going to turn it back over to Jessica here, and where she's going to talk about the University of Iowa Veterans Association.
Yay. Okay, so the Veterans Association, the University of Iowa Veterans Association is a student org. So what I want to emphasize on that is it's a student org. So if there's something you are passionate about, something you're interested in doing, I always highly suggest you come to our meetings or join our Zoom meetings. They're Mondays at 4:30. And then when we go back to school, the meetings will be Monday at 4:30 when we're back up in the office. So mostly, if we could scroll down a little bit. There should be part on here with our Engage page. So if you go on there and click, that, and then it'll have you sign in at the top, and you'll be able to be part of our Veterans Association Engage page. That means when we have like events, or if we need information or anything, like if we're doing like a poll, we'll send it out through Engage, so you'll get an email to be able to respond. And that's really helpful to keep up to date on all the things that we're doing, because we have a lot of events. We do a Ruck March, which we'll watch a video on to help raise awareness for veterans suicide, the 22 suicides a day. We also have, like last semester, we started a parents' night out. So we give parents like one night out of the semester where they can just go and have dinner or something without their kids, and we'll watch the kids for them. We do a flag display for the week of Veterans Day. We'll do a flag display out on the Pentacrest. We have just a lot of things. I get lost in the amount that we're doing. People have been asking during our Zoom meetings if we can do like golfing tournaments, if we can do all this stuff. I'm very open, and I just want everybody to have a good time. I want to bring as many people in as we can, because the UIVA is so supportive. Like I said, when I got here, I had a 2-year-old. I was able to bring him to meetings. You can bring your kid to meetings or your kids to meetings. I have no problem with it. They just kind of hang out while we talk. Another cool thing we've done is SVA. So it's the Student Veterans of America. This last January, we went to LA for a conference. It was 3-4 days. It was like 3 or 4 days. I don't remember how many. But I learned so much in that small amount of time. That's where the idea for like the Parents' Night Out came from. That's where our ideas for things like the golf tournament have come from. It's so like all encompassing. People were going and they were getting info on grad school and how to use benefits for grad school. People were dependents and they were getting information on how to use the GI Bill stuff that they were getting from their parents. It's just a ton of information that was super helpful to our organization. Just getting in, like one thing for me that helped me a lot was getting involved. because I kind of self-isolated when I first got here, because that's kind of what I was like when I was in the military. I would do my job, go home, spend time with my kid. Well, I tried doing that here, and college is a different vibe altogether. So getting involved in meeting the people of the UIVA and having those friendships really changed my whole experience. Like, that's the reason I'm here today and why I am the president and wanting to make change, because I actually took the time to go out and meet these people. Because trust me, you might think, oh, they're just college kids, but no, like, these veterans have had, some of these veterans have had full careers. Lucas, I'm so sorry. Go sit down. They've had full careers. They have all this knowledge to share with you, whether it's events they've done in their past or things they've done in their past to help influence our community now. The UIVA is just awesome. I just enjoy going and spending time and meeting all these new people. And it's a place to really be yourself, because, you know, we have a different viewpoint of things as veterans. We have a different way of saying things or talking about things. And these people will understand. Like, the people in the UIVA get you, they get where you're coming from. So another thing that I think if we put all of our meeting notes on here. So if you do miss a meeting, you'll be able to catch up by reading them on here. But at any time, if you want to come or anything, please feel free to email me. I'll make sure you get our Zoom link. And then if you want, we also have a group me message with the UIVA to keep up on like daily updates, and as well as like if we have to cancel a meeting, there we will also post it on there too. So yeah, if anything, you can just email me and I'll give you any information you want. And if we could pull up the Ruck March video from last year's Ruck March, if we have it on there.
We're out here marching for people who aren't here anymore.
So this is our fourth annual Things That Carry Ruck March. It's basically a ruck march from here in Iowa City to Lincoln, Nebraska. We ruck the game ball in conjunction with the University of Nebraska's Student Veterans Association.
Well, the whole mission we're trying to do is raise, create, promote awareness for veteran and military member suicide.
Statistic is 22 veterans a day commit suicide around the country, and obviously that's 22 too many.
It's been tough, honestly. It's been really hard to go from a place where you're told what to do every second of the day to a place where it's expected of you to show up and you to choose and you to do.
It's been, 6 years in a row? I'm feeling dangerous.
With our ruck, everybody carries their own, their backpack or rucksack, whatever, and about 28 pounds of significant gear to signify the 20 people, 20 veterans that we lose every single day.
Watch your step out there. Keep track of your buddies, left and right. It's a marathon, not a race.
I think it's really fulfilling because the people who do the ruck, it kind of gives them an outlet to kind of show their support for the military, and show that, just because we're civilians now doesn't mean we can't still hang with the best of them. So I think it's awesome. I thought being in it and doing the ruck portion, not just the driving, but actually rucking, it goes to show just how hard it is. Like, people in the military don't have it easy, and it shows the strength it takes because mental health is like a huge aspect of your life.
it's a good time. We'll have a speaker, have some music going, but it's a good time. Like, we're going to be laughing and messing around, and we have our football that we're going to be carrying, and so it's just a good time.
Our partnership with athletics is just vital to this because they provide us a platform on which to really spread our message. And I mean, while we ruck, you get onesie-twosies. People stop by, ask you what you're up to. But athletics during the football game, doing the handoffs before the football game allows us to really reach a broader audience.
Yeah, so that's our Ruck March. It's awesome. Like, that was my first time going to the Ruck March and seeing the amount of community we have with another school that far away, because our portion alone was over 300 miles. So their portion was also 300 miles to get the ball from Iowa City to Nebraska. This year we're supposed to do it with Wisconsin, so that's like 300 miles total. So it'll be way easier as long as football works out with everything going on with the pandemic. But to do that with another school where honestly we didn't really know anybody, and for us to all put forth that effort and to raise that awareness and to be on the Big Ten Network for that, it shows how big something like that is or in this area. Like, people here care about their veterans. We want that number to go down. We want to keep our people safe. So that is just such a big thing for the UIVA to do. And it's a great thing to be a part of. People come, like, not even just students, like there's veterans out in the community and they're like, we want to sign up. They email us like months in advance, like, we want to be there, we want to sign up. So it's big for our community as a whole. So that is my favorite thing right about the UIVA. So if you want to ever sign up for that or get involved with that, please reach out to me and we'll make it happen.
Thanks, Jessica. So I'll click in here. So, that's what we basically have for you today. We're going to be sticking around for answer any questions or any concerns you may have. Just a couple of reminders real quick. Please complete your that veteran worksheet if you're going to be receiving benefits. There's a new student form. I think that's link is following here. And then if you are interested, join the UIVA. Go to that engage page and click join, and it'll run you through. You'll put your Hawk ID and password in, and it'll link you up with that student organization. And then the final reminder is, if you haven't completed your FAFSA, please do so. That's money you're leaving on the table that you may be eligible for. A lot of veterans and military-connected students are eligible for Pell Grants, so take advantage of that. And those benefits do not count against your GI Bill, and vice versa. So you're still eligible for full amount of federal financial aid, even if you are getting GI Bills. So I encourage you to do that. So like I said, what questions do you have? Just feel free to jump on and live chat us or send us a question through the Q&A. We'd be happy to answer those for you today. And finally, some of our contact information, how to get a hold of us, where we're located. Missing one address on there, and I apologize. We are located in the University Capitol Center, which is the old Capitol Mall, which is right close to the Pentecrest by the old Capitol. We're on the second and third floor of that building. Our phone numbers for the resources side and the benefits side are listed there. Once again, if you didn't remember or didn't catch it, the veterans.uiowa.edu. Our Facebook page, our Twitter handle, and our Instagram page, or email address. So any of those ways, we'll be happy to be in contact with you. And if you have any questions or concerns after this, please let us know. We'll be happy to work through those and make sure you're getting everything you needed answered, and so that you're ready to hit the campus in August and get started. So we'll be hanging out, like I said, for a few more minutes just to make sure that no one has any questions. But thank you for your time. Welcome to the University of Iowa. And like I always like to say, go Hawks. So thank you for your time. Stay dry. Have a great day.